What's going on, everybody? I'm your host, Ben Ballion, back with another episode of the Sports Pod. And in today's episode, I'm going to talk about the Knicks' Game 3 loss to the Boston Celtics, why Tom Thibodeau made some pivotal coaching mistakes, and why you had to budget for a loss in one of these two games at Madison Square Garden because the Celtics were going to come out with a fiery passion. I'll get into all of it on the other side of the intro. Hit it.
DiVincenzo a three. Bang! Bang! Got the wall. He jumps. It's gone. He did it. He did it. Pete Alonso with the most memorable home run of his career.
All right, getting into the episode, and let's start with Tom Thibodeau. The Knicks head coach has been tenured since 2020, but recently, Knicks fans have been calling for his head, saying if the Knicks don't put up a fight in the second round, he should be fired. Heads have to roll after the Knicks would only make the second round for the third straight year and not advance further than that. But after the last two games, after games 1 and 2, I think that's done. I think that's out the window. Tom Thibodeau has proved himself because he has ran circles, had round circles around Joe Mazzulla. But in Game 3, Tom Thibodeau had the Knicks revert back to drop coverage. A coverage that allows the Celtics to shoot so many threes and so many uncontested threes. Now listen, if he's coming from the standpoint of, the Celtics were terrible in games 1 and 2, they were combined 25 for 100 from three-point distance, I still don't get it. That makes absolutely no sense. The Knicks ran drop coverage against this season, in the regular season, and look how that ended up. There's a reason the Knicks went 0-4 against the Celtics in the regular season, and it's not purely because they only played one time healthy. The defense was a huge part of the Knicks' struggles against the Celtics throughout the regular season, and now reverting back to that drop coverage makes zero sense to me. Why? Just why? Is it even a question? Why don't you stick with what was working? You won games 1 and 2. The Celtics are going to make open threes if you let them take them. Just because they missed 75 threes in the first two games doesn't mean that's going to last. And then once you see them go 6 for 7 from deep in the first quarter, why don't you revert back to what you did in games 1 and 2? The Knicks have the luxury of having a margin for error up to nothing. But this is how the Knicks are going to give it right back. Because if the Celtics win on Monday, then they retake home court advantage. The Knicks worked so hard to take home court in Game 1. And then in Game 2, coming back from down 20 in each of those games. It's not going to work. When the Knicks go down by 20, I guess some Knicks fans are like, we got it right where we want them. That's not going to work. It's going to work for 2 games. You're lucky you even got either of those wins. The Knicks have to come out firing in Game 4. They have to come out with a passion, with intensity. Like, we're not going down 20 points. We're not going down 30 points. We're going to win this game from the jump. We're going to take advantage of every Celtic mishap and run them out of the Garden. The Celtics have been a tremendous road team this year. They've been one of the better road playoff teams in recent history. And the Knicks, they've been sort of a weak team at home as of late. I mean, they were 1 and 2 in the Pistons series, and they're already off to a bad start, 0-1 in this series. They've got to win at home. You don't win in NBA Finals. You don't beat a reigning champion looking to make a second straight NBA Finals by losing at home and only winning on the road. That doesn't happen. But you had to be budgeting for one loss at the Garden. Like, coming into games 3 and 4, I'm like, all right, they're probably going to split. I would rather be Game 4 that they lose, because then if you win Game 3, you go up 3-0 and make the Celtics win 4 straight games. But now the Celtics could still lose a game and not be out. So the Knicks, they don't have that stranglehold that they were looking for after Game 3. The Celtics still have life. And if there's a team that's going to make this comeback, it is the Boston Celtics. It is this Celtic team with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Kristaps Porzingis has been a non-factor, and the Knicks haven't been able to take advantage of it. They have to do a better job taking advantage of the players who aren't doing their jobs. And that gets me to my next point. Staying on the topic of big men, Mitchell Robinson, please make a free throw. Please. I get it, though. This isn't the first time we've seen a big that can't shoot free throws. They always talked about it with Shaq. They said his hands are too big for the ball. I would assume it's a similar story for Mitch. But what I'm annoyed with is his body language after some missed free throws. Like, he had a pair early in the game. I think they were his third and fourth free throws. He missed them both. The second one was another air ball. He basically, bent over, touching his toes. Oh, how did I miss that? I suck. I'm terrible. I can never hit free throws. We know you can't shoot free throws. You just can't let that affect you. You got to get back on defense. You're out there to grab boards and to protect the paint. You are a rim protector, and you are one of the best in the NBA. You are the best offensive rebounder in the NBA. We know you can't hit free throws. Just get back on defense. Forget about it. It sucks. We know. And I'm sure it sucks for you. And I get it. He's like, oh, guys, I don't want to be missing these free throws. This pains me as well. But we all know. We all know it's not your fault. You're just, it's just terrible. Because the Knicks free throw percentage, I don't have the exact stat, but it has been awful throughout the playoffs. I look at game one especially. Game one, OG missed a free throw. Jalen Brunson missed a free throw. Josh Hart shot 50% from the line. Josh is not a player that should be missing that many free throws. He is a guard. He's athletic. He can shoot the ball at a decent percentage. That man should be shooting 85% at least from the line. He does not have the right to be shooting 50%. He has no excuses in that regards. But getting back to Mitchell Robinson, you know the free throws suck. And it's such a trade-off because what he gives you on the defensive side of the ball, on the rebounding aspect of the game, it's irreplaceable. There's nobody else on this Knicks roster that can do what Mitchell Robinson does on the glass. That's why it sucks so much that he just doesn't know how to shoot free throws. It pains everyone. It's there's no way to describe it. If he could shoot free throws, he would be unstoppable. I don't think Tom Thibodeau would be able to take him off the court. Josh Hart would easily be coming off the bench. He would be the sixth man of this team. But since he can't shoot free throws, it's really you have to pick and choose when to play him. And what he does and how Tom Thibodeau used him for a good part of this game, I liked it. I liked how he used Mitch, until the Knicks got to the bonus. Until the Celtics had 4 fouls, and then he would pull them out. Because he knew once the Knicks were going to be shooting free throws on the next foul, Mitch cannot be on the court. He's such a nuisance at the free throw line. It is terrible, and I hate that I keep knocking him, but it just has to be done. And I don't know. I hate that this has to be done because he is such a good player, and what he does on the glass is invaluable, indispensable for the Knicks, but he can't shoot free throws. So he can't play on the court. He can't be on the court, when the Knicks are about to shoot free throws. It's just not okay. So that's what I have to say on Mitch. And now let's get to OG Anunoby. OG Anunoby just had probably his worst game as a member of the New York Knicks. He had his worst game in the plus-minus department. He was a minus 25 in Game 3, which is his lowest in his career as a Knick. I think this is kind of crazy to say, but as OG goes, the Knicks go. When OG is playing at the top of his game, when he's banging threes, when he's forcing turnovers, when he's running in transition and dunking the ball like you saw in Game 1. That's when the Knicks are playing at their best. That's when OG spreads the floor, when Mikal spreads the floor, when Cat spreads the floor. They got Jalen go to work. Jalen gets in the lane. Jalen has the option. Do I want to kick out to OG? Do I want to kick out to Mikal? Do I want to swing it out to Karl Anthony Towns or Josh Hart, who will be probably waiting on the wing. He's probably going to drive as well, take his hot head to the basket and try to draw a foul, try to make a layup, or he'll just pump fake and then give it up. Josh is great, though. Josh has been playing tremendous in this series. He led all scorers in game 2, which absolutely nobody's talking about. He led all scorers with 23 points in that Knicks win, and he shot the ball efficiently. You're due for one of those Josh Hart games every couple weeks. And that's huge that it came in game 2 when Jalen Brunson clearly didn't have it. I don't even think he had 20 points in that contest. I think he had about 16. But it canceled out because Tatum also sucked and the Knicks won. So it's okay. It doesn't matter as long as the Knicks are winning. In this one, Karl-Anthony Towns had it going in the early going. But you didn't get that feeling that it was like, oh, here we go. Knicks are coming back now. Let's go. This is our time. Let's make the comeback again. It felt like they never got going. It was a little bit of a stagnant pace. I wouldn't say stagnant pace, but it's like they just didn't have that 3 or 4 minute stretch where they were dominating and nobody could stop them. They didn't have that in this one, which they've had in timely moments in each of the first 2 games of this series. And they're going to need to keep having those moments if they want to beat the defending champions. I got caught between saying defending and reigning there. I said the reigning or something like that. If they want to beat the defending world champions, though, they are going to have those stretches where they're unbeatable. And the other thing is, the Celtics were going to come out with a passion. They were going to come out with a fire because they had to win one of these games. I knew they were going to win today. I was budgeting for a loss in game 3. That's where I was thinking the Celtics W would come from. I just don't like how the Knicks lost by 20 plus points. That's just not what you want to see as a Knicks fan. But I think they can bounce back. And like I said, it starts with coming out hot and not going down 20 points. If the Knicks can come out of the gates firing, they're going to win the game. And then if they have that run in the third quarter like they had in game 1 and 2, it's over for the Celtics. The Knicks need to win game 4. It is a must win for the Knicks. And I know that's hard to say while they're up 2-1, but it is a must win game for them. You can't let Boston come back to the Garden and take home court back after you worked so hard to earn it when you went up there last week. That's inexcusable if they do. And then it's first to 2. Who can win 2 out of 3 games? And I'm not going to lie, I don't feel confident in that situation. I think the Knicks can easily, I would say easily force this to 7 games. But I also think they can win it in 6. They can win it in 5. It starts with winning on Monday. It starts with winning on May 12th in the Garden in Game 4. And the Celtics, when they have these games where they're just not missing from 3, I think I referenced it earlier in the episode, but I said they went 6 for 7 from 3 in the first quarter. When they have those games, when Derek White is pulling up 5 feet behind the 3-point line with Miles McBride in his face and just sinking it, that's when you know you're in trouble. Because when the Celtics are playing like that, they're unbeatable. That's when the Celtics are at their best. Those are the games that when they're taking 63s, they're going to say, we're going to make more threes than you're going to make 2s. And there's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing the Knicks could do about it today. The Celtics had one of those games where they were just shooting the lights out, where there's nothing the Knicks could do. And I think they were playing solid defense. I already talked about how I don't like the drop coverage, but I think for playing drop coverage, I didn't think there was any aggression issues or laziness on the defensive side of the ball. I thought they played fine. It just wasn't their night, Like it happens where the Knicks are going to have games where they lose in this series. I don't think anybody was expecting a sweep. I think the chances of that were next to 0. Most people don't even think the Knicks can win this series while they were up 2-0. So they have to come out game 4 and win that game. That's a must-win game for them. And it starts, A, with coming out firing, but B, going back to whatever you were doing in game 1 and 2 on the defensive side of the ball. Get rid of this drop coverage nonsense. It doesn't work. How long is it going to take Tom Thibodeau to understand that? And that's why in this one, the Celtics won. Joe Mazzulla outcoached Tom Thibodeau. After the first 2 games of this series, Tibbs ran in circles around Mazzulla. Joe Mazzulla smartened up, and Joe Mazzulla adapted while Tom Thibodeau went the other way, and he gave a bad game plan to his team. The Knicks didn't have a chance to win that game. Once they decided to run drop coverage, they just didn't have the opportunity to. I don't think the Knicks will win a single game in this series if they continue to play drop coverage. The one thing I like that Tibbs did, though, is play Precious Achiuwa. The big sneeze getting some run in the Eastern Conference semifinals. I talked about it before the series. You're going to have to throw some different looks at Kristaps Porzingis. If you want to stop the unicorn, you're going to have to give him fresh looks every couple minutes, every quarter maybe. And that's what Precious Achiuwa did. I think he gave some good run. He got you an and one in the first quarter of that game. A little energy boost. And I'm okay with what Precious did. I mean, he didn't do anything too special, but he did the job he was supposed to do. And that's what the Knicks need out of those guys they're playing that are deeper off the bench. That's what they need from the guys like Cam Payne. That's what they need from the guys like Miles McBride. Mitchell Robinson's the 6th man on this team. 7 through 9 needs to be efficient shooting the ball and still play rock solid defense. That's what they need out of the bench. The defense is more important than the offense they're getting from the second unit. Because if the Knicks can restrict the Celtics from scoring with the second unit, you have 2 huge defensive liabilities in the starting lineup, those being Jalen Brunson and Karl-Anthony Towns. You need everybody else on that roster to mask those liabilities. But those are guys in Brunson and Cat that have to be on the court. That's a guy in Cat that you gave up Julius Randle, that you gave up Dante DiVincenzo for, that he's one of the better scorers in the NBA. He's one of the better big men in the National Basketball Association. And as much as I like to hate on Karl-Anthony Towns, and boy, I like to hate on Cat, he's got to be on the court. At least when you need scoring. For the defensive unit, obviously, Mitch is going to be on there. And Jalen, I mean, this goes without saying, he has to be on the court nearly at all times. I've actually been impressed with how little minutes he's playing. He's still playing about 40 minutes, if not more, a night. But I thought he would be playing closer to 47, 48 night in and night out. Because Tom Thibodeau just likes to run everyone into the ground. So I thought they were fine. They look conditioned. Nobody looks to be fatigued so far, and that's just something they have to keep up. They look like they're more conditioned than Boston. They got to keep the energy up. However, they can't fall into the trap of Boston, where they have to make Boston play their game. The Knicks play a slow-paced style of basketball. They've got to make Boston play that slow-paced, hard-nosed, physical style of basketball as well. Jalen Brunson is one of the better post players in the NBA. He's got one of the best mid-range shots in the game, and he can also drain it from downtown. He's got to make Boston come to him. He's got to take the game in his hands. He's got to be better if the Knicks are going to win this series. I know he's turned it on in the fourth quarter in every single game. I know he is so clutch. But for the Knicks to win, and for the Knicks not to make you stressed out, and for the Knicks not to take years off your life, Jalen Brunson has to start the game off playing well. He's got to be scoring 20-plus points in the first 3 quarters, and then turning it on for the fourth quarter, and then going on his clutch rampage in the fourth to win the game for the Knicks. So out of Jalen Brunson, what I want to see is him starting faster. And I know I've talked about that ad nauseum for the whole team, but it starts with Jalen. Jalen is the captain of this ball club. Jalen has to just be better. He has to score the basketball more. He's been invisible for the first 3 quarters of a lot of these games. And it's not just this series. It was the Pistons series as well. I get it. He's so clutch. I love it too. but he's got to be better to start the game. He's got to be an opener and a closer. He's got to be working all game. He's got to work the opening shift, and then he's got to close also. That's what we need out of Jalen Brunson, and that's what the Knicks need out of Jalen Brunson to win this series. All right, to wrap up the episode, the Knicks are still in a good spot. Up 2-1, you just have to win game 4. I think they'll be able to. I think they're going to come out with a passion, with a fire, with an intensity that we haven't seen out of them yet. It's a must-win game. Go back to Boston up 3-1 and end it at the fake Garden. Make those fans leave TD Garden sad, mad, aggravated, angry, frustrated. All the adjectives. Jalen Brunson loves sending fans home on the road. He's done it in every single playoff series he's won as a member of the New York Knicks. Let's see that again, Jalen. Come on, JB, let's do it. All right, that's going to do it for the episode. If you enjoyed, please consider subscribing, following, commenting, sharing, liking. I really appreciate all of it. Check out all my socials with links in the description below. I'm posting over there nearly every day. Also, make sure you leave me a voicemail at 848-305-8073. That's 848-305-8073. I would love to hear your sports takes and questions. I'll react to all of them in the episode after you send the voicemail. And most importantly, make sure you keep it locked with the Sports Pod.